new to our channel, my partner Adam and I and our dog Twyla have been travelling around Australia for the last 2 years part-time in our converted Ford Transit camper van. But in this episode, I'm going to be changing things up a little bit and I'll be taking you to see Mexico, where I travelled around for 4 weeks with a good friend of mine, Monica, and we went to plenty of cities and towns and I can't wait to show you them. Now, if you're someone who loves us for our van life videos, don't worry, they'll be returning. We'll have plenty more of them. I'll be just putting these Mexican videos out sporadically over the next few months. But we've got plenty more to come with Twyla and Adam on our adventures in our van. And welcome back to the channel, and we are now in Oaxaca. Today we haven't got anything majorly planned. We're just walking around the city, enjoying the culture and checking out different things. First place we've come to is a market. We're just going to walk through here. There's food, there's t-shirts, merchandise, you know, that kind of stuff. So we're going to have a look through this market. It looks pretty cool. So this is some traditional pottery from around this region. It's volcanic? No, it's clay, but the way they do it is when they are cooking it, basically, to make it go hard, they don't let any of the smoke escape, so it turns it all black, and then it just stays like this. So rather than looking terracotta, it is black. So now we're at a shop that sells chocolate you can drink. You can see it here, how awesome does it look? And this is kind of traditional. I think this is, for this region, they're very well known for this chocolate drink. Adam would love this. Also, about a week ago, I was at one of Monica's relatives' house where they had mole, which is like the chocolate sauce that they put over chicken and things like that. She's buying some now to take back to Australia because you can't get it as good as what it is here in Australia. So anyway, we'll check it out when she buys it. Get your mole?
No.
No, you got?
Chocolate.
Ah.
To make hot chocolate with these tablets and then in that flavor.
Oh, very good. You're going to love that. Well, I think we've just worked out where we're going to eat lunch today, so we might be back here later unless we find somewhere even better. It's coming to an exhibition centre, cultural centre. So it's a free exhibition here, and we're just walking through the building. There's a few different buildings you can go through. This one's got a lot of art and some really nice pieces. So it's not just the artwork that's interesting. The building itself is quite gorgeous, and they've even got parts where they've revealed how it used to be painted, and looks really nice. But I'm just enjoying, besides looking at the art, just looking at this beautiful building and the space. It's perfect for a gallery. Here they've got showing the different processes of making the material that makes their clothing. And then here they're making things like table runners, tablecloths. Very interesting. This here shows you the building that we're in at the moment. It's an old convent, and Monica's going to help me say the name. It's the San
Pablo convent.
Was it built?
In 1600.
Wow, a long time ago. And then it shows you all the actual plans of the building, how they restored it. But yeah, it's an absolutely gorgeous building, as you can see. And it's a library also. So we're now heading to another gallery. We'll go check this one out soon. I'm loving all these bright, colourful flags. We've just arrived to our next museum. This is the name of it. And we're going to go in and check it out. Haven't guessed already, this is a museum on stamps. This is an old Prime Minister or President of Mexico, one of the best they say. So it's all made up of different stamps, but they've got heaps of stamps to look at, stamps that have been turned into art. It's really interesting. So this is what they're making today. They're making a postcard. It looks really cool. Day of the Dead theme. And you can see it coming out over here on the press. So now they're just cranking it through. And then, this is very old school. And there we go, finished product. Now we've entered the setup of the old post office. Very similar to Australia's old post office. And then you can see how they used to sort out the mail. Got a safe over here. Got stamps you can buy. And then around here you can see everybody's mailboxes. Let me just check what mail I've got today. So the Mexican postman looks a little bit different to the Australian postman. He's in his little pants, short things there, and how they used to deliver the mail. They used to run like the wind. So let me just put him back. But they've got to look. He's running to deliver the post, pass it on, and the next person, he comes to gives it to him, and then he goes to the next town and delivers the mail. I was saying before at the other museum that we went to, it's not just the stuff on the walls, it's like the actual building itself is amazing, and I'm getting some really creative ideas for back at home. Look at this, like we have creeping plants and stuff, but creeping cactus, how awesome. The courtyard, we just found an old mailbox and this tree, which we don't actually know the name of it, but look how interesting. Look at this, so cool. Inside this safe they have a massive stamp collection. It's amazing. So in here is all different stamps you can look at. Heaps and heaps and heaps. You just pull one out and you got your stamp collection. I know you can send a lot of things in the post, but I didn't think you would send a car in the post. Look, it's got stamps all over it. How awesome does this look? Let's have a look at the front. This is awesome. Even done the interior. Check this out. And around the doors inside. This room, they have all the coins leading right back to when they first started, and then they even have a picture here of the old press machine that they used to make the coins with. Spotted something I might buy for Adam. This top here really stood out for me, and I found another one too, so buy Adam a present, and Monica's getting herself a t-shirt too. This is the other one I'm getting for Adam, which has the flag colours, Mexican flag colours, and has an agave plant that's flowering, which means it's ready to be picked and made into mezcal. Walk back to the church where they had the wedding on the other day. Beautiful day here today, and we're heading into another art museum, and I don't know what this one's called yet, It probably says it on one of these boards, but I don't know what I'm looking at. So we'll go in and check it out and see what it is. So this is the name of the museum right here. So I found it, and looks like we have to pay to go in to see this one. So this is just a little bit of information about where we are right now, if you want to have a read. But yeah, so this is part of the church and the first part of the building we've walked into. This is really interesting, and this is a real skull, and there's some information here, the year, and if you can see it, just found out it's two different skulls. The reason why the top of their head's been cut off is because it was used most likely as a vessel. Then the eyes itself are shell. Then we have the stone. The blue stone is turquoise. Then the mouth, the lower mouth, is another type of, I think, shell, red shell. And then it's actually two skulls combined together. And then the nose is actually a flint knife. Here shows you all the things they found inside the tomb. It's pretty incredible, the detail. So you can even see like where the skull is sitting. Building is all part of the original church, and they have this huge, almost like a botanical gardens as part of the church. Also, you can go visit, but it's closed today, so we will go visit it, but just not today. This place is definitely an awesome place to come visit if you want to see the history going right back of Oaxaca, and they have some beautiful pieces here from the first settlers to what other things, Monica?
The
Conquest,
Independence Day,
and Revolution, and a lot of artifacts from the church. So definitely a lot of history here. And again, like the last two places we saw, the building in itself is something just to look at. So this gives you a scale of how big this place actually is. So this is the church that we visited on the first day. This is just where we walked around, and then the gallery, or not gallery, well, yeah, museum, you could say, is all through here. This is the gardens that we haven't visited, but you've seen pretty much all of it from all the different windows and vantage points around here. And also I think that's still part of the church. But yeah, the whole thing, it's absolutely huge. Oh, and this is where we saw the wedding the other day happening. We've probably come to one of the nicest rooftop bars. Look at this. You get a view of the church across. Look at this. It's amazing. And it's a really nice spot. It's undercover, which is good. So at least you've got the sun pounding on you. It's a very hot day. And so we've ordered some drinks. So we might just come to a little to eat. Well, to start this day off with a margarita. Cheers. One thing I've learned in Mexico is when you just want some chips or anything basic, they always have to put a twist on it. Check out these chips. We thought we just were ordering how they've come out. Look at this. This looks more like our nachos at home. This looks incredible. It's got a bit of everything on it. Chorizo, it's got jalapenos, cheese. But anyway, it looks delicious, so let's eat. Time to move on, but I was just admiring this sand art. This is all made by sand. And you can see it from the top of the bar where we've just been drinking and eating. But how cool is that? All from sand. Slowly making our way back to the hotel, and we just keep coming across more and more of people setting up ready for the Day of the Dead, and it looks so gorgeous. Look how nice it looks. On our way back, we've ran into a textiles museum which has all different materials, the way they used to make things, and pieces of clothing, runners, table runners. So yeah, it's quite beautiful, all the pieces. If you remember earlier, we came here to check out one of the museums, but they've got a art gallery here that we're going to go in and check out now. It looks really good, all modern kind of things, so we'll go and have a look. So we found out the exhibition was on puppets. So it was all different types of puppets, and there were some really incredible ones. And these puppets were huge, some of them. They even had a dog puppet that reminded me, or made me think of Twyla while I was overseas. We really enjoyed the exhibition, but it was getting late in the day and it was definitely time to look for somewhere for dinner. So we headed off back into the city. Tonight we've returned back to the same place but a different restaurant, and we're upstairs this time, and they've still got the band downstairs from last night, same band, and everyone's still dancing like they did last night. So they've brought out some bread for us with some sort of butter with something mixed through it and some salsa. Monica's gone the seafood soup. What's that there? What is that? Is that like a crab? Crab meat or something?
It's fish, mussels, prawn, and octopus.
Oh wow! And then across here, I'm keeping it simple tonight. I'm actually going a spaghetti bolognese. Very un-Mexican of me, but sometimes your stomach needs to reset before you start again, if you know what I mean. So we finished dinner and the music's still playing, people are still dancing. It's one thing I love about Mexico. There's so much love in the air, and watching these dancing is just such great entertainment. So this morning we got up and we've arrived at
Monte Alban.
And so this place here, we've got different places of worship, so pyramids, and also residencies, so places where people actually live, like kings and queens and things like that, priests. So what we've got behind me is different places where they used to do worshipping, you know, things like water, rain, different elements. And they all face, this one here behind me faces north, and then so forth. But anyway, we're going to take you through and show you around, and I'll give you a little bit of information that I've learned off our tour guide today, and we'll see how we go. But these weren't Mayans, and they weren't Aztecs, they were Zapotecs, the people. So they were here before all of them. So let's go check it out. I'm going to take you up here and just show you the view from up here, which looks right over the royal kind of palace, kind of, if you can imagine. It's not exact name, but that's what I'll call it. And it's got some amazing views. Now, if you know the Mexican money, the $20 note, or 20 pesos note, has a picture from this view. This exact view here is on that note. So it's pretty cool. I'm about to get a picture here, and yeah. Right, so now we're coming from the most secure part of this area down to another secure part where if you were just common folk you couldn't get up here, or down to this next bit, but I'll show that in a second. But down where all these people are, they actually can see something they worship, which was the jaguar. Now the next part is kind of a bit of a gross part. This is, well, maybe not to everybody. This is where this area we're walking into is where they used to do their sacrifices. And one of them was they would sacrifice women because supposedly they're, well, they are fertile. And this was to bring on a good food season. And they would make her dance out in the middle here. The royals would sit around watching, and then the priests, they would poison her, kill her, and then skin her alive. And then the priest would wear her skin for 2, maybe 3 days. And this represented the skin of the corn that's around the corn, and this would bring them, supposedly, would bring them a good food season. Where you can see those pillars, there used to be a wall there and a roof. There was a roof on top there. And basically this whole area, like I said, to the common folk would have to be invited here to be up here. But this was pretty much just royalty up here and priests. And then we're going to head over now to the bottom lower part, which again you'd have to be asked up to, but it was for the more common folk on the other side. These people here are doing restorations. They're doing them over here also on the stairs, so they're fixing them up so to bring it back to its formal glory basically. And there are ways you can tell what has been fixed and what is original. Get up here today, we had to come up on a bus, and it went up such a big steep hill. It's probably one of the highest points, well, maybe not the highest, but you can see how high up we are. And one of the reasons why they were so high is because they did follow the stars, and they had observatories here to look at the stars. Alright, so now we're going down to the more common people. So we've got these stairs here, which you can't climb down at the moment. And then now this reveals the whole lower area, which again has places of worship. And they're all in line except for the back one there, which there's a reason why. I forget the reason why, but the one at the back is out of line. But we'll go see that now anyway. These are actually up in, the real ones are up in the museum right up the top where you start the tour. And but they have these ones out so they don't get ruined. They just have these ones out, and it tells you what they said and what they were. I have to apologise for my bad tour, because I literally just learned about all this probably, an hour ago, and I'm just trying to take something that we listened to for 2 hours and bring it down to a few minutes. But look, even without the story, it's just beautiful to look at, and you can really appreciate everything that's here and what they've restored and kept, and all the culture side of things. So now we've headed over to this corner, and again, this is where they found a whole heap, at least 300 of these stones that are carvings, which tells you kind of the story and history of everything. again, a lot of these have been removed to take up to the museum up the top. So just to repeat, these are all fake. Yeah. But if we get time, we'll show you the real deal. But now we're heading up to this other very large pyramid. And you can climb it. I don't think we'll have time to get all the way up to the top right now. We'll go get a photo with it. But it's quite stunning. The one just over here. You can see how big this is, and this isn't all revealed. It's still got the dirt on it, and the steps are so high. And I think I've mentioned in one of the episodes about, you know, the stairs being a certain way so you kind of don't turn your back on the gods. So yeah, all right, well, let me get a photo of this because it looks pretty cool. Look how steep this is. It goes so far up, but like I said, we're going to move on. I'm not going to go to the top of this. All right. We've talked Monica into it. We're going to the top. And like we're here, we may as well bloody do it. And I should really be concentrating on my walking. But already you can see how awesome the view is from up here. It's so cool. We've gotten to the top, and guess what? There's another pyramid. I'm out of breath. But now let me show you the view. So check out this view. It is absolutely stunning. I'm undecided if I like this one better or the one over there, but it is so pretty. Gorgeous. You can see from up here how steep the stairs are. I'm going to use that handrail. Monica's been a bit adventurous. She's just going to walk straight down the middle. She's over there. So I think I actually got something right. So the only crooked one that's out of alignment is the observatory. Also, we found out why we've been here is the skull we saw at the museum yesterday. If you remember it, it was the blue skull, and it was actually found here. So they found a lot of people buried here because they used to bury them in their actual house itself. If I come across a tomb, I'll show you one. But I don't know if I think we've already gone past the tombs, but if I do, I'll show you. Again, you can see the whole city down there. Pretty much where that white blob is, that's right near where we're actually staying. So that's how far we are from there. And yeah, if we keep going, we're coming towards the end. We're heading now to the museum. 1, to get something to eat, 2, to use the toilet, and 3, to see if we can see these real stones that were taken with the inscriptions on them. This here will give you a good idea of how big this actual place is. So everything we saw today is literally on top of this mountain. These other mountains around here, I'm getting chased by a bee. These other mountains all have pyramids on top also, but they all haven't been. Some of them have been uncovered, and some are still covered by dirt. And on this one, this actually shows you the top of that part there. This is where we were today. And so this is where the sacrifices happened. This is a priest up where they all lived, or the main part where all the headquarters, yep. And this is where all the common folk, when they were invited, hung out. And these are the last big steps that we walked up and got photos looking back over this. Oh, and the observatory. And again, that's the only one that's off center because the rest all face a certain way. And you can see that was built last to observe the stars. Alright, so this is where they keep, this is a museum, and this is where they keep all the real stuff. This here is one of the high priests wearing a jaguar mask with the feathers. Here we got the serpent, and to me this looks like a jaguar head, but I could be wrong, I can't read the sign. I feel like I'm on a set of Jurassic Park. If you remember the opening scene of Jurassic Park where they got the main part of the building, it looks so cool. And they got all the stones, so these are the real deal, but they've brought them inside so they don't get damaged by the weather. The bus was meant to pick us up early today. We haven't had breakfast or lunch, and it's, what time is it now? It's nearly 12:30, and we're about to head off to another place on a tour to another town. So we thought we better get something to eat. But they got this really nice, in the museum, they've actually got a really nice outdoor area. I'll turn the camera around. So it has outdoors, and you've got a view of the city over there, which is really nice, and it's all undercover. Then you got indoors as well. And we've just ordered hot dog, of all things. We saw hot dogs on there, and I thought, I wouldn't mind a hot dog. So, but it says hot dog special. So there's always some sort of twist on everything the Mexicans do. So we'll see how this turns out. So in Mexican terms, it's pretty simple, nothing too over the top. Just some cut tomato, mustard, onion, hot dog, and some chips or fries on the side. Leaving now, but I should let you know there is plenty of shops outside as per usual where you can buy things and grab your souvenirs. I don't know if you remember the other day I showed you some black pottery in town that we could have bought. So we've come to a place where they actually make the black pottery. I want to see how it's made. So this gentleman is going to show us how they make the pottery. So right behind him, you can see all the different types of things that he's made that you can actually buy. He's just breaking up the clay, and then he's going to be kneading it. Now he uses this little tool as kind of like the wheel that you would use when you're doing pottery, but it just balances there, and you'll see him balancing it and moving, and it's amazing how quick he did this pot. He's obviously had a lot of experience, and also he was saying that these pots take a long time to make. So they get made and then they're left to harden a little bit, and then they work on them again. You'll see at the end of the process, he starts cutting into it, where that's how they make their patterns and decorations on the piece, but they wouldn't normally do that on something so soft. They'll wait till it hardens a little bit, but he was just demonstrating. And here he goes, cutting a bit out, but normally, like I said, he'll do this on a piece that wasn't as fresh. He would wait till it hardens up a little bit before he did something like this. He only spoke in Spanish, so I just had to find out what he was saying off Monica. And after the demonstration was finished, you could check out all the pieces and do a little bit of shopping. We both brought something small to take home with us to remember the experience. How cool does this skull look? And like I was saying early in the episode, how they get the black is because they trap the smoke in when they're doing the kilning. And you'll see down here, they've trapped it all in, and when they open it up, it has that black look, which then they polish up. Our next stop on our trip was going to see the wood carvers. Now, the guy did a demonstration for us. It's a whole family affair. So he's one of the carvers, the guy talking here, and he's just showing how he carves these pieces into beautiful bits of art. Now, he's making, most of their sculptures are Day of the Dead creatures, which help people pass over to the afterlife. He's also saying that He doesn't know what he's going to create until he sees a piece of wood, and then it kind of talks to him and tells him what it wants to be. And then he starts carving away and using all different tools, which I'll show you soon. Then they get it down to a spot where they start sanding it and make it nice and smooth, ready for the ladies next to him to start painting. He brought around a few pieces to show us, like this heart, these little skulls, and even an owl with very fine painting detail on it. They looked amazing. Then we went over and checked out all the tools of the trade, from the bigger tools to the smaller tools, and all the fine detail, the brushes. Then we got to meet the ladies that were busy painting away. You can see here, they got so many different paints. It was awesome to see. These are ones ready to get painted. So they were all raw, and it was just really interesting. And at the end, we got to go into the shop and see the finished pieces. And if you wanted to pick one up, you could. But they were absolutely stunning pieces, and just the amount of work that went into them, I definitely knew I had to buy a piece to remind me of this special place I got to come to in Mexico. If you want to learn a little bit more about these mythical animals, definitely check out the movie Coco. Not far from the wood carving, we head to another house of a family that makes textiles. This lady here is making a table runner, which I ended up buying one of hers. I was looking for a table runner the whole time I was in Mexico, and to see this lady making that and then buying one, I thought, how amazing is this? So yeah, she went through and showed us how she does it. She actually straps this to her back and leans back to be able to get the tension. It was quite incredible to watch. The room she was doing it in was so colourful. Everyone was standing around watching her work so hard, and you can see them, all her pieces of work hanging on the walls. So after she finished demonstrating, we definitely started looking and shopping. I don't think one person left without buying something after seeing how much work goes into making these table runners. It was incredible. She also explained that this has been in her family for many of years, and it gets passed down from generation to generation, as you can see in these pictures of her mother's mother making these pieces also. But after a very busy day, it was time to head back to the city. So that's our last night here, and we're going out for dinner, but we've just come across some rehearsals. They're rehearsing most likely probably for the Day of the Dead parade that's coming up really soon. So they're not in their full costumes, they've got their skirts on, practicing their boogie, and yeah, pretty cool. All right, well, let's go out for dinner and see what we end up eating. One of Monica's sisters actually asked her to pick up some mole, which is like a chocolate sauce that you put on, I think Monica's had it while we've been away, on your food. It's quite delicious. And so we've come to this chocolate factory, and we're picking her up some here. So this place was fully stocked on mole and all other different chocolate products. And they even had some of the equipment out on show with how they make it, so you could check that out. Then we thought we would head out to this restaurant for dinner, because there was one traditional meal I hadn't tasted from the region, and I really wanted to give it a go. Tonight we've come to El Negro, and I don't know if that's how you say it, but anyway, and I'm going to be trying one of the most traditional foods, I reckon, in this city? No. Land? City? So we're going to check this out now, but I'll show you what it is. It's called a clayuta. Clayuta. I'm getting it wrong. And basically it's like a big tortilla. And so people sometimes have these full, don't they, with two on top of each other. But this has been halved, and we're just going to have half each because we're not that hungry. And then I've got ribs on top, and inside this has got beans and cheese. Oh, and cauliflower. supposedly. So yeah. All right. Well, let's give this a taste. This is it open. Monica's opened hers, and you can see she's probably going to put her meat inside. She got the side of steak, I think, and you can see that it's got the stringy. This is that stringy cheese, is it? The traditional stringy cheese. We've had that before too. All right. Well, bon appetit. We've got a couple of salsas to go with this also. Let's give it a go. It's good, and that's without even the meat in it. I'm really going to eat it separate, and then eat my meat separate, because it's ribs got bones in it, so I don't really want to be putting it in this. So that was quite nice. I really enjoyed the meat. The meat was amazing. But the actual tortilla, I was really looking forward to it. But I felt like it was just that little bit lackluster in taste. There wasn't heaps of taste on it, so you definitely had to put your sauces on it. Or they do have salt that you can add a bit of salt, which I did. I think it's a bit sacrilegious to add salt, but I did it anyway. And then after that, gave that little bit of a kick, and it was quite nice. So we're at the airport about to leave this place, but we're having some breakfast, and I wasn't going to film this part at the airport, but I'm about to try my first bit of cactus. So it's come with my breakfast, so I'll show you what it looks like. So this is it here. This green stuff is actually cactus. So I'm going to give it a go. So what we did ask for, this wasn't on the menu, we just wanted bacon, eggs on toast, and then they've added the beans and this bit of a pickled mix. So let's give it a go. All right, here we go. Here it is. Yeah, it's pickled, so there's not really no major. I'd say it's like a little bit like capsicum when it's pickled. Yeah, not bad. Guys, that's it for this episode. If you're new to the channel, make sure you do go like and subscribe and tell your friends about us. And guys, please leave a comment down there. We answer back to everybody, so get down there if you've got any questions. We can answer them. We do have all our merch. We've got mugs, we've got t-shirts, we've got hoodies, and so much more. So to check all that out, just go to the link below and you can buy our merch. And until Sunday, we will see you then. Thanks, guys.